I woke up today feeling super anxious, so I thought what better than to film a video on anxiety. Hello, how are we doing? I hate introducing videos, but today I decided I would see if anybody had any questions for me to answer about anxiety and answer them. And people did, so thank you. I'm going to be answering the questions off my laptop because they were asked on my phone, but I am too skint to afford a camera, so I film on my phone. First question is, how long have I had anxiety for? Do you know what? I don't really know. I feel like high school was definitely when it probably started. Probably the first day of high school. That place traumatized me. Like, I could do a whole video on how high school traumatized me. That's when I don't remember feeling, and I was always quiet in primary, but I don't remember feeling anxious or having panic attacks or anything like that. But then in high school I have memories of PE, like the anxiety of that, and like I think that is where it started. But yeah, so that's a long time. I'm 20 now. I can't do that sort of quick maths in my head. So yeah, I started high school when I was 9 years, but I don't think it started in year 7. How did it begin? I can't really pinpoint exactly how. Like, I'm not a professional. By the way, yeah, everything I'm saying, I'm not a professional. So, you know, take it with a pinch of salt, I guess. I'm just giving like my experience. I feel like it came from loads of different like aspects of life, so a lot of it came from like family trauma, so like when bad things happened in the family, I think my way of dealing with it when I was like, as young as in year 4 was anxiety about it. So yeah, I guess I did have it in primary school, actually thinking about it, but it didn't surface properly until high school. High school, when I was like 14, 13, things just sort of resurfaced, I guess. All that's what I can remember, because I was in CAMS when I was that age, so it was obviously bad enough for my parents to, you know, do something about it. And next question, how did I know I had anxiety? I'd get these horrible feelings when I was too young to understand it, like in high school, first few years. I'd get these horrible feelings that other people didn't get. So like waiting in queues, like I used to get so, like walking to school, I would get so anxious. Like I remember every single day I'd walk to high school down like this woods, and I'd just be so convinced that I'd been shit on by a bird, like a bird had pooed on me, and I'd be up in the group chat like, oh my god, someone come and meet me please, like I feel like I've, like, all my old friends like from high school will vouch for this, like every single day in the group chat I was like, I've stepped in shit, I've been pooed on, like, and I'd be convinced. It just wasn't true, it was just all in my head. What symptoms do you get? It varies, and obviously I have like other mental health problems as well, so I don't really know what is what all the time. I definitely get like overthinking, like intrusive thoughts and stuff. That comes from like OCD as well. I can also feel like sick. A big symptoms for me though is like my heart hurting and like my left shoulder hurting. I struggle with like the realisation and like a cloudiness in my head. Like that's how my anxiety comes about now. I feel like it's very different from when I was like in high school and when I just sort of had generalised anxiety, but now with like my PTSD and stuff, that anxiety manifests as really bad like derealisation and like not being able to be there and focus. My brain, it literally, the only way I can describe it is like I get a sudden fog in my brain and like I can't really feel anything or think anything. Like if you asked me to read when I was really anxious, I probably wouldn't be able to, because my brain is just foggy. It's like all my skills to read, to concentrate are here, and then there's this fog, and then there's like my brain acknowledging all of that, and it just doesn't connect. I don't know, it's so weird. The next question is what medication worked for me. So it's to be on beta blockers or propranolol, which help with like the physical sides of anxiety, so like heart beating fast and stuff. And when I was on that did help with that, because when I stopped taking it, I noticed how my heart would beat fast. Basically. The next question is, other than medication, what ways can I control it? So it depends like what part of anxiety is going on for me. If I was having like an intrusive thought, what I do with most of my anxiety in an intrusive thought is contextualise it. So in that situation I would be like, acknowledge that I have anxiety. So I feel like that could be a first step of, what's the question? Of how I can control it. So acknowledge that you have anxiety. So that's what I do. I acknowledge that I have anxiety and then rationalise with myself, like, is this thought just a thought or is it fact? Like, could this be a product of my anxiety? And pretty much all the time it is. So say that I sort of accepted in myself that thought is a product of my anxiety, and yeah, there is a chance that it could happen, there is a chance that it could come true, but there's also a chance that it couldn't. So like, just try and focus on doing things to distract yourself from that thought, and think, it sounds so typical, but think positive. So I'd have that thought, oh, I don't want to go into uni today because something bad might happen, and I think, might not. If you are anxious and you can't go in, then you can't do something, then that's so fine. Like, you should not be made to feel bad about that, because the fear that takes over your body and your mind is completely valid. But if you want to try and not let it stop you from going to uni or going to work, that's a big thing for me. Like, work, doing that is so difficult to overcome sometimes, but a lot of the time I do just contextualise it and really force myself. So if I'm lying in bed and I'm like, I really don't want to get up, and then I think back to the times of when I've really not wanted to get up and then I have got up and I felt better. So I think, right, I'll try. Like, you can't beat yourself down for trying. So just try and get up, have a shower. I know everyone says it, but it does work. Like, today I felt so anxious. But I'd already planned that I was going to go for a walk. So I did that, I went for a walk, and I tried to do all the things that I knew would usually counterbalance my anxiety. So like making sure I eat, making sure I drink. And then I thought, I want to film this video, but I feel too anxious. What if that comes across? So then got ready, had a shower and stuff, and here we are. But obviously it's not always as simple as that, and you just be kind to yourself that it is difficult to deal with. Another thing is talk to people. Another way to deal with it is talk, because when I have something that I'm anxious about, I'll usually make a video of myself and put it on my private story, or ring someone, and after that I genuinely feel like 1,000 times better, especially like when I've got like I always start with like an intrusive thought, and then I'll be like, oh, I'll just make a quick story about this, and then it ends up being like a 5-minute long story, and I probably end up crying, but afterwards I feel so much better. That's even without the support of other people, that's just from talking about it. And then obviously if you choose to like vent to other people, a lot of the time they will understand and they will relate. Contextualise it in like the grand scheme of things. So if your anxiety is saying nobody likes you, or you're late for work, or something like that that feels massive, but if you put it in the grand scheme of things, who cares? If you go somewhere and people don't like you, that's on them. Don't let it affect you. Like, as soon as you feel that thought of, oh my god, these people don't like me, shut it down. Do something to distract yourself, because even if they don't, I always think this to myself, like, even if these people don't like me, and they probably, like, not everyone's gonna like you, or even if these people are annoyed at me for being late or annoyed at me for some reason, is not going to affect my life in the long run unless I let it. A big thing that helps me is having my own back, and again that's a whole other realm of anxiety and mental health and how to like learn to love yourself, but that is a big key to, because if you have your own back, then whatever happens in your life, like, you can deal with it, I think. So the next question is, do I feel it physically as well as emotionally? And definitely yes. Like, people do not understand how like prevalent the physical side of anxiety is. Oh my gosh, like literally I've been to A&E because of my anxiety. Like I've called 111 and they've said we're sending an ambulance because I'd called because my chest hurt. Basically, I'd just been back to Manchester the week of, trigger warning, Manchester attack, but I'd just been back to Manchester exactly a week after the Manchester attack to like pay my respects, and I was in the arena when it happened, and I felt after coming back from Manchester, I was on the train and I felt fine, and then all of a sudden I just got this really sudden sharp pain in my chest, like ridiculously painful. I couldn't breathe, and I got off the train and I told my parents I could hardly speak. I was like, my heart hurts, and then they were scared. Like, they're used to me worrying about like that kind of stuff, but like the level, they could obviously see that I was in pain. So we called like 111 and they were like, we need to send you an ambulance, like you're a 999 like call. And I was like, no, I'm not. I was like, I'm not having an ambulance, like just keep your money. No, that'll just make me more anxious. Like, I don't need it, I'm fine, I'll be fine. I was trying to calm myself down because the last thing I needed to hear was that a bitch might be having a heart attack, like. But then we went to A&E and they did ECGs, took my blood, everything fine. Everything fine. They were literally like, there is absolutely nothing wrong with you. My heart rate wasn't even above like normal on like the ECG. An ECG is like a heart scan, if you didn't know. And I've had like 4 ECGs before, purely anxiety based, like purely because I've had heart pain from anxiety, and obviously I've been referred for tests and they've just said like, there's nothing wrong with you, like we don't know what's wrong with you. So then that's when I started, by the 4th time of this, I've started to accept that when I feel that pain, that it could be anxiety. And again, that's how I contextualise my anxiety. Someone asked, how does my anxiety affect my day-to-day life? This is a good question, because I feel like it affects you and you don't realise it. Like, it's with things like paying for things like waiting in queues and stuff. I get anxious. Like when I was in high school, like that used to be a big one for me. Like social anxiety used to be very, very bad. Like I wouldn't be able to like go to cafes or like go and get my lunch in school. I'd be really scared. I'd always have to have someone with me. But now at uni, I'll literally say to my friends, oh, like, are you guys getting there? Like, I'm just gonna, unless I'm having a bad day with my anxiety, I can usually just be like, right, I'm gonna go here, like, I'll find you. Back in high school, people used to have to go, and even college, like, go up to the tills for me because I physically couldn't do it. Like, I'd rather just not. Another way is like, it affects me in work a lot. I was off work for like a year, like not off work, like I didn't have a job for like the first year of uni because the idea of it made me so anxious. In work or in uni, I come across as like, I don't as much in uni because like I do an acting course, so if I don't talk, you know, I can't really do my course. But in work, that was a really violent but in work, I feel like everyone in work literally thinks that I literally like don't have a voice, like I can't speak, or I'm rude. one of the two. Like they either think like I'm just bare quiet or like I'm just rude as fuck, which, you know, I probably do come across like that, but it's genuinely because my anxiety is so bad that I just feel like I have no right to speak. That's why my anxiety affects me a lot actually. Like when I'm around groups of people, I just feel like I don't have a right to speak, so I just don't, because I feel like if I do speak then they're gonna judge me, like think why is she speaking up, like who's she talking to, kind of thing, and just not want me to speak, or I'm scared I'll say something like bad. But it's so frustrating because in my head like I have so much to say, and like I'm an extrovert person, and I'd hate the fact that in work and stuff I come across as like this shy little thing, because I'm not, but my anxiety turns me into that, and it's so frustrating because like I come across as rude, because even when people talk to me I'm just kind of like yeah, or like another thing for me is like people acknowledging me from afar. I can't do it because it's because I literally just think, oh, like that person's probably not acknowledging me, you know. So like say someone was like across the street and they waved in my direction, I would literally think that they are acknowledging anyone else because I'm not worthy of their acknowledgement, which, yeah, me, I'm probably not. So it affects me a lot in my day-to-day life in that way, and like constantly having like those anxious intrusive thoughts like everywhere I go, like oh, like what if they don't like it, oh what if they think you're rude, or like when I do something and I'm like, oh I shouldn't have done it like that, I should have done it like this, and like everyone's judging me. Oh, I absolutely hate, and this is how I seem rude, like if I'm late for something or if I'm walking into a room full of people, you're supposed to go like, hi, how you doing, and I'm just literally, I can't. Oh no thank you, like, oh. And like the thing is, I am genuinely sorry I'm late. I'm the last person that wants to be late because of this anxiety that I go through, and I just can't say it because I don't want to attract attention to myself. Negative attention is just not the one. It affects me when I'm like getting the bus or like getting public transport, walking places. So basically I just can't do anything. But like I hate walking places. I get really anxious walking places because I just want to be at the place, and I'm the worst person to like get ready with or like travel with, because I will literally be so anxious until I get there, and I have no idea why. So it affects me like that. Like I'm very anxious in the morning, very anxious on the way to work. Like if I could just have a superpower to just click and be somewhere, sorted. But yeah, it's an endless cycle. Anyway, I've still got like loads more questions that like I've been asked, so I might do a part 2 of this video because I just feel like I've chatted balls for like too long now and I just need to stop. On that note, if you do like these kinds of videos, then please, like, I hate saying this, but click the like button. Yeah, subscribe if you like this kind of content, I guess. I'm also going to be doing, like, when we're out of lockdown, other kind of content like fashion content and stuff, because I enjoy that. But right now I'm really focusing on mental health because I feel like now is the best time to help people with it, because I feel like people are struggling. So yeah, if you enjoyed the video, give it a like, thumbs up, you know, give it a share, that would be great, and subscribe. Anyway, thank you for watching.